Tonight, for the full hour, 50 Shades of Sue Gray. This is the biggest British scandal since the fall of Singapore. This is worse than the Profumo scandal. Oh, sure, kinky, aberrant fornicators cavorting with women out of easy virtue, but at least at Cliveden, swingers parties, no one leaned on a swing. From page 35 of the Sue Gray report, a number of individuals gathered near a child's swing slide in the garden, damaging it by leaning on and playing with it. This was noticed the next morning and reported to Number 10 staff. The Sue Gray report is full of details like this. Sick and perverted, leaning on a child's swing, so insouciant and debonair. I'm leaning on the child's swing at the back of Number 10 in case a certain little Boris comes by. Whoever's next in Number 10, Sir Keir Starmer, Sir Ed Davey, Dame Nicola Sturgeon, Sir Gerry Adams, whoever it is, they'll be leaning on the swing too. That's a given. Why? Because our elites are getting more elite and are ever more open about their contempt for you, the non-elite. There is no pretense that they are bound by the rules they impose on you, and we accept that in every other area of public policy. Oh, look, the Prince of Wales, John Kerry and Leonardo DiCaprio are taking separate private jets to COP27 in Tahiti to call for a maximum carbon alliance, ensuring that you'll be on the bus for the rest of your life. And most of you craven climate change groupies, most of you accept that. Oh, yes, Leo needs the private jet in order to fly around lecturing you masses to stop destroying the planet. Garden Gate is what they want you talking about. They want you talking about Garden Gate and Vindaloo Gate and ginger growlers. These are the only ginger growlers I chow down on. That's the work of Gary Lavin, by the way. Ooh, they're great. Way chewier than a curly whirly. Just lay a trail of ginger growlers in the woods and watch the press trot after them. Every minute you spend talking about Cakegate, Currygate, Ginger Growlergate makes you more stupid. The rules were stupid, and they knew they didn't matter. They knew it was safe to have cake. They knew it was safe to have curry. And what our corrupt political class should do is just, in fact, refund all the money they confiscated from you these last 2 years in the stupid lockdown fines. Here's what really matters about the lockdown years. Under the pretext of public health, you can put all the quote marks you want around that. It won't undo what a big fraud it is these days. Under the pretext of public health, there's been a massive transfer of power and wealth away from you and to the government, to big global megacorps like Amazon and Facebook, to the big transnational agencies like the World Health Organization, and to Bond villain cartels like Klaus Schwab's World Economic Forum. They're boasting about the profits they made from this at Davos.
The rise in billionaires has been unprecedented during the pandemic, and there's been several sectors where that has been mostly concentrated, and one is in fact the pharma sector, because COVID has been one of the most profitable products ever.
Oh, you don't say. One of the most profitable products ever. And so one reason the media are in a huff about Johnsonian roues leaning on children's swings is because it conveniently absolves them from their role in all this. The only reason children's swings were locked up in municipal parks across the land is because the groupthink media decided to play the role of pom-pom girls for the lockdown fanatics. Kay Burley, Philip Schofield, Susanna Reid, Andrew Neil. Laura Perrins on this show last night called the media lockdown lickspittles, and she's quite right. And now, thanks to the experts and the pom-pom girls, we have the worst inflation since the 70s, a global food supply crisis, and a greater concentration of wealth and power in the hands of lunatics like those guys meeting in Davos. You have to be able to prioritize. You can investigate Boris Johnson and Keir Starmer for breaching rules they all knew were rubbish, or you can roll back the madness of the last 2 years to make sure it never happens again to anyone, whether it's a Downing Street staffer leaning on the stupid swing in the back. I don't even know why there is a swing in the back garden at 10 Downing Street. I don't recall the Marquess of Salisbury having one. I think that was the last time I was invited to number 10. But there shouldn't be fines for leaning on swing. And in fact, to have a government investigation into swing leaning is the height of wasteful activity, even by the standards of contemporary British government. On this show, we prefer to talk about things that will impact your lives. Today, Albert Bourla, the head of Pfizer, and Bill Gates, the world's biggest man boob, have been laying out their plans for you at the Spectre board meeting in Davos. And we have disturbing news out of another fashionable town, Wuhan. Let me know your take, GBViews at gbnews.uk, or you can tweet me at GBNews. Joe Ward was a guest on this show a week or two back. He lost his father to the COVID vaccine, and he tweeted this today from Sajid Javid. Sajid Javid put out a tweet saying people are understandably very angry about the poor behaviour set out in Sue Gray's report. The PM has apologised and taken responsibility for all that happened. He's now using fake sympathy with people who are angry as a way of avoiding the things other people are angry about, because Joe responded immediately, "We are angry that you, Sajid Javid, are ignoring vaccine-injured and bereaved families. We did what you asked, and now we're suffering with zero help." As you know, Sajid Javid refused to come on the show, but did say he would answer our questions. He hasn't answered the questions. Could you knock it off with sympathising over people who are angry about Cakegate and Garden Swinggate, and actually give these people who were injured and bereaved by these vaccines that you touted some assistance in the rubble of their lives? That's the big unfinished business from the age of lockdown. We're being told to get ready for our 5th and 6th jabs. We're told to jab our kids at an ever earlier age, especially if we want to go lie on a nude beach in Spain or visit cousin Wilf in Adelaide. And yet there is still a near total media blackout on the victims of the vaccine. Almost 500,000 of your fellow citizens have self-reported to the UK yellow card system. But if you link to that on Twitter, you'll be labelled as disinformation. If you're a widow and you mention on Facebook that your kids are growing up fatherless because of the vaccine, your widowhood will be labelled as fake news.